Hello there, you're now watching TVS Nightline. I'm Muhammad Yusuf, and let us begin with our top story. Sarawak is ready to rebuild its tourism sector to drive economic growth with the completion of several projects to upgrade tourist areas. Among them is the NIAH waterfront construction project, which has the potential to boost the regatta event in SUBIS.
Jadi kalau ini ekosistem itu keadaannya kita naik taraf, tentu sekali ia dapat memberi kesan kepada ekonomi yang terdapat di kawasan itu. Sebab ialah saya sejemu-jemu memberi pertukaran yang besar kepada dua bandar dalam bajet kerajaan ini.
He said so at the opening ceremony of Waterfront NIAH Phase 2 in SUBIS on Monday. NIAH Waterfront Phase 2 project has been approved under the Rural Transformation Project RTP allocation for the year 2015 and has been fully implemented in February 2021. Meanwhile, Assistant Minister of Women, Family and Childhood Development BUGGY incumbent Dato' Rosie Yunus has guaranteed to bring more development projects to the area. Among the current focus is the level of internet connectivity.
Kita faham usaha dilaksanakan oleh kerajaan TVS kita untuk meningkatkan capaian internet di kawasan luar bandar seperti yang dihasratkan oleh Yang Berhormat Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri dalam membangunkan negeri secara inklusif. Maknanya si ada yang ketiga, secara inklusif. Cuma kita tu mintanya cepat dalam sikit. Selain itu, Yang Berhormat Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri menjelang tahun 2030 kita tu ingin dan lihat daerah kecil yang tu dinaikkan jadi daerah penuh. Menjelang 2030. Tujuannya untuk merancangkan pembangunan di kawasan kita.
Therefore, Abang Johari urges the community to determine the right representatives that are able to bring changes and development to the local community.
Rosie telah bekerja kuat dan saya harap insya-Allah kalau kita bersetuju, saya percaya kita bersetuju, kita mahu Rosie untuk terus berkhidmat ke situ, insya-Allah saya akan
Right, the water supply projects in SUBIS has shown positive outcomes, with the ruling coalition under the leadership of its chairman, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has emphasized on the development in the rural area with a huge allocation to meet the demands of the rural folks for better amenities.
Di kawasan SUBIS, bukan Miri lain, SUBIS, hampir 100%. Yang telah kita belanjakan, kita telah belanja 132 juta termasuk booster dan juga high level tank yang memberi pressure, tekanan supaya air tidak jadi masalah. Kalau dulu memang masalah, dan sekarang ini alhamdulillah semua telah dilaksanakan.
He told this to reporters during his work visit to Miri on Monday. Abang Johari was satisfied with the development progress implemented in the area despite the COVID-19 constraints.
Dan tadi juga saya berkesempatan melihat jambatan yang saya luluskan dahulu, iaitu di Bekenu. Dan tadi kita telah menaik lagi taraf benteng di seberang sungai Bekenu. Ia akan menjadi satu lagi tempat perhentian para pelancong yang datang ke Gua NIAH. Dan di kawasan Lambe pula, saya telah meluluskan masjid, dan nampaknya disebabkan oleh PKP COVID ada terjejas sedikit pembangunannya. Dan hari ini saya nampak ia telah berjalan dengan baik. Mungkin kita terpaksa melihat review dari sudut kos, kerana kita hendak menambah lagi kemudahan yang mungkin terjejas di masjid ini. Pada overallnya, saya berpuas hati dengan projek-projek yang telah kita luluskan selama 3 tahun yang lepas.
NIAH caves will soon be upgraded, while a buggy track will be constructed from Pangkalan Lobang to the main cave to draw more tourists to the cave site. The long-term upgrading project at the cave would not disrupt the ecosystem to which it will be implemented in an environmentally friendly manner. Sarawak Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said it would also ease getting to the cave without the need to walk for about an hour to the site, having the option to opt for a buggy ride powered by batteries as an environmental protection measure.
Di bawah Sarawak Forestry Corporation, kita juga membangunkan kemudahan asas kepada NIAH Cave, Gua NIAH. Dan untuk objektif jangka panjang, kerana kita sekarang ini mencadangkan menerusi Kementerian Pelancongan Malaysia, Gua NIAH sebagai UNESCO, tapak UNESCO. Sementara itu kita tentu sekali memperbaiki kemudahan yang terdapat di kawasan tersebut.
Commenting further, Abang Johari said the project, when ready, would further boost economic development for the residents of NIAH, Bekanu, Subis and Sibuti. According to him, 5.2 million ringgit would be allocated for the proposed construction of the NIAH River Bridge at the NIAH National Park and the buggy trail to the main cave. Now, the Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS is the clear choice for Sarawakians. The party has proven itself to be united, stable and competent in steering Sarawak through the pandemic recovery period. GPS Chief Whip Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof said the opposition parties are more interested in their respective power struggles compared to the well-being of Sarawakian. He said the party have no qualms about accepting political frogs, and they argue endlessly about who gets what and how to share the spoils in their aim to take control of the state. He said this in a statement commenting on Parti Sarawak Bersatu PSB President Datuk Sri Wong Sun Koh, who recently charged DAP Chief Chong Cheng Jin, as well as various statements by PKR against DAP over the allocation of seats in the upcoming state poll. Fadilah also pointed out that in protecting Sarawak's rights and land, GPS had brought back the Bakun Dam from the federal government in 2017. He said because of this, Sarawak now fully controls its own electricity generation and transmission capacity. On another development, Limbang Division, which currently has an internet penetration of 48.5%, is expected to expand its coverage target up to 98.4% by the end of 2022. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said he is optimistic that the target could be achieved thanks to the various initiatives by the state government and the federal government.
He said it is the aspiration of the government to bridge the digital gap between urban and rural communities. Among that, digital technology is becoming more important, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Dan semasa pandemik ini, kita kesian melihat anak-anak kita yang belajar di sekolah-sekolah, di mana sekolah sekejap buka, sekejap tutup. Dan mereka dapat mengikuti pelajaran secara online, tapi tidak banyak tempat yang ada internet connectivity ini. Sehingga kan seperti apa yang berlaku di Sabah, mereka sepatutnya panjat pokok untuk belajar. Dan di kawasan-kawasan kita pun ada yang pergi ke certain point yang mana ada internet.
At the same time, 6 locations in Limbang were provided with Wi-Fi service, namely Kampong Ipay, Kampong Maruyu, Kampong Merajang, Long Rayeh, Rumah Rumpang, and Kranganma. The Wi-Fi service provides free internet access to villages who currently rely on very small aperture terminal or VSAT internet technology. Earlier, Awang Tengah officiated the launch ceremony of Sarawak linking urban, rural and nation in Limbang on Monday.
Back then, internet networks in Limbang areas was less satisfactory. This has been the struggle faced by Rumpang Longhouse residents in Mersang Darat village. However, things have changed since, as they now enjoy stable internet connectivity thanks to the state's initiatives that focuses on rural development.
The village head of 23 doors with 195 residents, Rumpang Bali, said they were delighted with the latest facility made available.
Nanti uliah punya aku tu buat kawasan tu kau kurang publicity tawa batu yang ngam. Laban balan ya. Berguna amat lagi kemaya tu kita tu betul. Tetapi ngau COVID-19 tu amat susah amat ke sidak ya pada aku. Cikgu pun pedih amat meri kertas kerja kerja rumah ke sidak ya. Jadi bak tu syukurlah punya aku tadi tu amat nulung kami serumah tu bak wifi tu. Jadi bawa aku.
Rumpang added, even though their longhouse is located at a distance from the city centre, its residents are not left behind in development provided by the state government. Meanwhile, Sarawak Multimedia Authority SMA General Manager Dr. Zaidi Razak said they will continue to support the state government aspirations in ensuring Sarawak local communities have internet connectivity. Thereby, a Digital Community Centre DCC Sarawak is now built in Limbang Division to ease the trouble of students in conducting online classes. According to Dr. Zaidi, DCC provides services such as Digital Community Platform, Skills and Talent Development Centre, Community Research and Development, Consultation and Counselling. He said the programs give awareness, preparedness and adapt on digital skills and capacity building, socio-economic development, sustainable and community empowerment. For the record, a total of 42 DCC have been established throughout the state with 1,278 ongoing programs.
Now today, the Belgium ambassador in Malaysia, His Excellency Pascal Hubert Gregoire, paid a courtesy call to Sarawak's Governor Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud's residence. His visit to Sarawak will identify the demands of various sectors in Sarawak and to establish a better partnership between Sarawak and the European Union.
The main objective is to stimulate and to help to strengthen partnership with respect mostly with greening issues, with climate change issues and also with sustainability. We think that based on these three pillars, greening, sustainability and climate change, we can build a stronger partnership between Belgium and Malaysia and Sarawak, but not only between Belgium and Sarawak and Malaysia, but also between the European Union as a whole.
Pascal arrived at Taib's residence at about 4:15 p.m. and were in talks with the head of state for about an hour. The Belgium ambassador arrived in Kuching on Saturday and he will be meeting various state authorities and agencies such as the Ministry of Tourism, Sarawak Forest Corporation SFC, and ex-FAB Sarawak Sendirian Berhad, to name a few. This engagement will determine which sector in Sarawak that the Belgium government can assist, especially on environmental preservation.
Could we develop the idea being that this is really demand-oriented, not here to impose or to I would say, to be in the driving scene, but really as a partner, a reliable partner, and to move forward and to help to bring the relationship between both Belgium, European Union, Sarawak, Malaysia to another level. I think we have a lot of potential. We know quite well each other for many years. For instance, in my country, Malaysians do not need a visa for short-term visit, Malaysian tourists, students, and so on. But I'm sure based on this, we can move forward the quality of the partnership.
Pascal added that Sarawak is a place of endless opportunities in various sectors, including energy, logistics, bioscience, biodiversity, and pharmacy.
kecemasan boleh saya bantu?
Hello, there's been a motorcycle accident here. Maybe an elephant ran it over?
Sir, there is fire accident at the address number 5 Jalan Tembika Shah Alam.
PGO from FRT Shah Alam, there was no fire accident here, over.
MERS 999. Use it wisely.
And I was like, yeah, that's you, ya Habib.
Bobo di mana? Tanggapan pertama, kami macam rasanya simut tegur orang tau sih.
Disebabkan tu saya tak ada komunikasi dengan mak bapak saya lah, tapi saya sayangkan mereka.
Yang rajin bah cari kerja online susah bah.
Cabaran OKU pekak dan bisu tentunya ada.
Welcome back. Now, the Film Censorship Board, LPF, will remain under the jurisdiction of the Home Ministry, KDN, to ensure that the contents of films shown to the public did not violate the four main aspects, as this could jeopardize national security. According to the Deputy Home Minister, Datuk Sri Ismail Mohamad, LPF was not placed under the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, KKMM, because its function was limited to film censorship.
Terdapat 4 aspek utama yang digariskan dalam garis panduan tersebut yang diteliti dan diberi perhatian khusus oleh ahli-ahli lembaga semasa menafis sebuah filem, iaitu yang pertama, keselamatan dan juga ketenteraman awam, kedua, keagamaan, ketiga, sosio-budaya, dan keempat, ketertiban dan juga ketatasusiliaan.
Ismail added that LPF is not involved in filmmaking or production because this comes under the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia FINAS, an agency under KKMM that performs specific functions to develop the local film industry based on the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia Act 1981. For the record, 6 films were not approved for screening by the Film Censorship Board LPF last year, while 1 was not approved this year. On to the next development. A total of 9,356 police officers and personnel will be deployed to maintain law and order for the duration of the Sarawak state election next month. According to Deputy Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Mazlan Lazim, only personnel from the Sarawak Police Contingent would be involved, and they would also be tasked to ensure that the standard operating procedures (SOP) are adhered to.
Meanwhile, Mazlan said, as of today, 2,596 SOP compliance monitoring teams have been deployed nationwide, including 339 teams in Selangor. The Election Commission has set December 18 as polling day for the 12th Sarawak state election, while nomination day is on December 6 and early voting on December 14.
Now, the price of imported and local vegetables in Sarawak are seeing an increase between 10 to 20% than the standard retail price. Among the vegetables that are affected by the price hike include round cabbage, napa cabbage, cauliflower and broccoli for imported veggies, and chilies, long beans and mustard greens for local veggies.
According to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPD NIAH Sarawak, the main factor that contributes to the price increase is the cold weather, which has battered most parts in China and affected the produce. In addition, the price increase is also due to the supply issue and the increasing cost of shipment and shipping caused by the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic. The hike is also due to the weakening ringgit against US dollars. While there is no supply issue for local vegetables, the increase in price is blamed on bad weather and the current monsoon season. Nonetheless, vegetable wholesaler and importer has given a guarantee that this situation is temporary and the supply and price of vegetables will recover in late December after the weather improved. KPD NIAH Sarawak will continue to monitor the situation to ensure the price of vegetables at the market is still under control and to ensure that traders do not take advantage of the situation to make profits. Consumers who found traders selling their vegetables at excessive prices can channel their complaints to the ministry through the details as shown.
Now, a total of 2.15 million Sarawakins have been given at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, while 2.11 million have completed their two-dose vaccine as of 27 November 2021. Deputy Health Minister Datuk Dr. Noor Azmi Ghazali pointed out that Sarawak is also the first state to administer the booster dose injections and additional doses to eligible recipients since October 13th.
Sehingga 27 November, seramai 620,180 atau 30.4% penduduk dewasa telah menerima vaksin. Jumlah penduduk sasaran bagi dos penggalak dan dos tambahan ini adalah 2,042,700 individu.
Commenting further, a total of 1.9 million adults in Sarawak aged 18 years and above have been given at least one dose of the vaccine, while 1.8 million have been given the full dose vaccine as of November 27. While a total of 259,648 adolescents aged 12 to 17 years old were given at least one dose of the vaccine, while 251,736 were given the full dose of the vaccine. Meanwhile, Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC on Sunday said they have beefed up on the entry procedures into Sarawak from other countries following the detection of a new COVID-19 variant, Omicron, by the World Health Organization. In a statement, SDMC said foreigners with a travel history within 14 days to Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe are not allowed to enter Sarawak temporarily.
Now, the RTK antigen and RT-PCR tests used to detect COVID-19 infection are effective in detecting the Omicron variant of the virus. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said he was informed of this by experts from the Institute of Medical Research, IMR, but tests are still being conducted to know more about this variant.
He said currently, the study focuses on the effectiveness of the RT-PCR test to detect the Omicron variant. He said a further study on the variant did not only involve detection tests, but also on the effectiveness of the vaccines. Reports will be ready in a week or two from the vaccine manufacturers, which are conducting research on the effectiveness of the vaccines against the variant. The Health Ministry is also looking into the ferocity of the Omicron variant. Early reports from South Africa, which has a low vaccination rate, shows that the Omicron has only caused moderate symptoms. Khairi said that it was too early to expect the Movement Control Order MCO to be reimposed following the emergence of Omicron. On the travel bubble and the need for home quarantine and at hotels for travelers returning from any country categorized as risky, he said the matter would be discussed with the Health Director General today.
On to the next update. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob arrived in Singapore today to begin his official visit in conjunction with the commencement of the Air and Land Vaccinated Travel Lane (VTL) between Malaysia and Singapore.
His arrival at the Woodlands checkpoint at 10:45 a.m. this morning was welcomed by his Singaporean counterpart Lee Hsien Loong before both leaders visited the land VTL. Meanwhile, both leaders will also discuss Malaysia-Singapore bilateral cooperation, including new opportunities for effective recovery from the impacts of the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to that, both Prime Ministers will also be exchanging views on regional and international issues of mutual concern. Ismail Sabri was accompanied by other Malaysian leaders, including Senior Minister of International Trade and Industry Muhammad Azmin Ali, Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah, Transport Minister Wee Ka Siong, and Johor Menteri Besar Hasni Mohamad. This is Ismail Sabri's first official visit to the Republic in his capacity as Prime Minister. The Prime Minister also had a new orchid hybrid named in his honor before paying a courtesy call to Singapore President Halimah Yaakob. Wisma Putra on Sunday said the visit is conducted in full compliance with the strict health and safety protocols put in place by both governments.
Welcome back. Now on to some global updates. A strong earthquake with a magnitude of 7.5 shook the northern Peruvian department of Amazonas, including injuring a dozen people and damaging infrastructure.
The earthquake was registered at 5:52 local time at a depth of 131 km and 98 km east of the town of Santa Maria de Nieva in the province of Condorcanqui, near the border with Ecuador. According to the country's National Institute of Civil Defense, 12 people were injured due to the earthquake, with more than 1,000 people being affected. So far, no casualties were reported. The earthquake also led to landslides in multiple areas that damaged roads. Meanwhile, power supplies were cut off in several cities of 3 northern provinces. The Peruvian Navy Directorate of Hydrography and Navigation has ruled out a tsunami on the Peruvian coast. The earthquake was felt in several cities in Peru, as well as several parts of Ecuador and Colombia. Peruvian President Pedro Castillo has already arrived at the quake-afflicted area for inspection as well as rescue relief.
Now, K-pop sensation BTS are playing their first in-person concerts since the start of the pandemic in Los Angeles, and their legions of die-hard fans have descended on the city to see their idols in person.
The 7-member group will hold 4 Permission to Dance on Stage concert at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on November 27 to 28 and December 1st and 2nd. The concert is BTS's first since 2019, when they wrapped up their last tour from North America to Europe and Asia. Since their 2013 debut, BTS has spearheaded a global K-pop sensation with catchy, upbeat music and dances, as well as lyrics and social campaigns aimed at empowering young people. Last week, the band won Artist of the Year at the American Music Award and Best Pop Song for their summer hit Butter, among other awards. As the pandemic spread last year, the band postponed and then called off what was meant to be its biggest international tour, involving nearly 40 concerts. Instead, it has held online shows.
Now, words can break someone into a million pieces, but they can also amend them in one piece. That's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Good night.